Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be reacting to
BTS and the Art of Cultural Appreciation. The lesson K-pop needs to learn.
Hello everyone, today I'm going to take a closer look into BTS and cultural appreciation. K-pop is notorious for being culture
who's
vultures,
the channel
often
doing
getting called
this.
out for cultural
Soyeon Stan.
Oh,
appropriation, for borrowing aesthetics, mixing symbols with minimal understanding, or using sacred imagery just for visual. But BTS somehow managed to do the opposite. So, in this video, we're going to unpack how BTS pulled this off, how they transform cultural influences and make it appreciation instead of appropriation, and why that difference actually matters. As always, I will be using examples of other K-pop groups to highlight how BTS approach other cultures differently. But this is not about hating on any group. It is a critique of how some K-pop companies handle cultural elements without proper research. And yes, I'm an ARMY. My name and profile picture probably give that away, but that's not why I'm simply praising BTS. Their work is why I became an ARMY.
this is Welcome to the Grammys.
Soyeon Stan. Also her name gives a... Bangtan Sonyeon. I think that's their name, right? So maybe that's why. Oh, Sonya. I thought it was a Stan of Soyeon from G-Idol. As I always thought of the shadow. Uh-oh.
You just had this moment.
Also, many idols I'll mention don't have much creative control over their comebacks like BTS do, so the responsibility mainly falls on their companies.
Kraft Real Mayonnaise, made with eggs from farm.
I'm going to quickly tell you about my digital K-pop scrapbook. 15 pages of fun prompts for this BTS cultures. Videos have a link on the page right now to get it yourself. Okay, let's get back into the video. BTS's music videos have been studied by classicists, literature professors, and psychologists, and their lyrics have been translated into several languages by armies. Their global impact has reached a lot of people from different cultures. So, this video is to show how BTS integrate global influences into their art in ways that honor the source material and deepen the narrative. Before we begin, let's clarify the difference between appropriation and appreciation. It's not always obvious. Both involve borrowing from another culture, but appreciation requires research, collaboration, credit, and respect, while appropriation is usually more shallow. Artists cherry pick the parts they find appealing while ignoring or even mocking the rest. Appropriation can perpetuate stereotypes and disrespect sacred traditions. Appreciation, on the other hand, means learning about a culture, working with its people, acknowledging their influence, and using those elements to build understanding
Okay,
rather
this
than
is a
profiting.
really good definition, and I think it's so clear that I am surprised that still people make the mistake to appropriate and go very shallow.
Well, the companies, K-pop companies make a mistake, and I don't think they make a mistake. I think they just don't care enough.
But to know that the controversy could be like when you move on to another culture, that it can be viewed as, oh, are you appropriating? Because that's not something groundbreaking. Like that's now one of the possibilities of the drama when you take on doing a culture. So it shouldn't be shocking. It's like as if they want this kind of drama to be the conversation rather than positivity. Like, look, they're appreciating the culture and not just appropriating.
I think they just don't care. I think they just lack of care. I don't think they just don't care.
So they don't care for their money because when they get the backlash, like for example, Kiss of Life, and they got the backlash. That's a group that they were putting money to form, develop. You know, that was an investment. So to say, oh, they didn't care, to say, oh, let them have like a shallow, very shallow party.
I think that was like a rare occasion, because
What do you
like
mean?
look how much appropriation we see and how many groups actually get affected by it. Only really like if we can think of Kiss of Life is the only group that really got affected by the boycott. Nobody else really does. Like Blackpink, nobody cares about the N-word. All Day Project, nobody cares about Tarzan, N-word, Tarzan, sagging pants. Uh, what other groups like recently? We've seen that do some bullshit. Young Posse, the whole group is based on appreciation, but the Young Posse is irrelevant anyway, so I don't think they would get affected.
But that controversy still circulates around, like for example, Tarzan. For a big group like Blackpink, that is like the exception because now they're too big for people to really, make a decision more based on money than on the ethics of it. Because here is where people compromise their ethics for money. Whereas for Tarzan, he's still at that early stage, but
But he didn't get affected at all. like at all.
Yeah, but the controversy still comes up.
It
Like
comes up,
it
but it
still
doesn't
comes
affect
up.
him. Like
Mm-hmm.
versus Kiss of
Mm-hmm.
Life, they actually felt it in their pockets, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, but I think Kiss of Life is the only one that actually
Mm-hmm.
did feel in their
Mm-hmm.
pockets.
Mm-hmm.
And, I can't really think of another group right now that did feel it.
I think right now for Kiss Life, they're still taking like a hiatus,
No,
or they're
they just don't
active.
react to them.
Oh,
No,
so
no,
I
they're
don't
doing
know.
it. They're coming back. They do music. Everything is back to normal. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
From exoticism.
Because
It's
we,
about
I
celebrating
guess
unique
like not only us, but maybe other like the T channels don't say much about them either. Because
They're not in the tea right now, but they do drop stuff.
but
non
the T channels they still cover like they drop and they will say their thoughts of what they drop and we would see it in passing. But we haven't seen that in passing
I
at
don't
all.
know. I think K-pop Spy said that one time somebody asked her to react to their comeback. She said she don't care.
Oh, okay.
reducing it to aesthetics. Cultural appropriation in K-pop is not new. It's been a recurring issue that keeps resurfacing every few months. From music videos to stage performances, many groups have borrowed cultural symbols or aesthetics without understanding their meaning, turning sacred imagery and traditions into backdrops for a visual. NCTU did this in Make-A-Wish when they performed in front of and heavily featured Islamic architecture, without taking the time to understand what they were using, which is deeply inappropriate. This lack of awareness showed again when their stylist called this headscarf a turban and said they added curls to keep it from looking, quote, too dull. Another notable example is Blackpink for How You Like That, where they seemingly interchangeably blend Indian and Arabic elements as if they were one and the same. The song features a Middle Eastern style guitar riff, and you can confirm that from the sample they use, and Lisa walks through a stereotypical Arabian marketplace filled with lanterns, woven baskets.
Hey, Jalen. Thurston A. Sip here. What's harder, picking plays or picking outfits? More ice in your
Beaded curtains, and even a genie's lamp, suggesting a strong Middle Eastern theme. But then they randomly mix in South Asian elements, specifically Indian elements such as the necklaces Lisa's wearing and the literal Hindu god statue placed at her feet, which sparked major controversy and revealed a lack of proper research. On top of that, Lisa also wore grills, a style rooted in African American hip hop culture. Borrowing aesthetic elements from different cultures and just cherry picking the parts you want and then presenting them as interchangeable is textual cultural appropriation, and disrespecting another religion in the process only
This
makes
is
it
a big
worse.
miss
Some
by the
other examples
styling
include
team.
G-Idol performing in front of a mosque backdrop, whatever they were doing in this music video from Momoland, Kiss of Life's hip-hop themed live stream, and countless others. For a lot of these cases, the issue isn't using elements from another culture. Most people actually love when others appreciate and take
But
part in their
I'm
tradition.
not surprised that the team put all these like cultures into one because they do that in the music too. They blend like different genres into one.
Yeah, K-pop is notorious for that.
Yeah, and I can see like even like people who are into these genres can feel like, oh my God, this is like, ugh. It's tragic to mix the genre with another genre as if they go together and call it a new fusion. Like this is something new now. And so I'm not surprised that translates over into the fashion where they mix and blend different cultures and say, okay, this is a new look that they're going for to come off as like groundbreaking. Where for others, they can say, well, this historically cannot go with this because they don't go together, and we're not trying to like change or lose the identity of the culture because obviously that culture still exists. So I can see where there's this fight between, okay, with culture you have to be respectful because I'm pretty sure you from where they're coming from, their background, they don't want to lose the identity of their culture blending into another culture, and that becomes a new thing and everyone forgets the old.
The problem comes when it's done carelessly, without research, without respect, just cherry picking what looks aesthetic while ignoring and even mocking the rest. These situations all show the same thing: a lack of understanding and lack of education. You see, making mistakes is not the problem, but refusing to learn from them definitely is, and this is definitely a repeated pattern in K pop. BTS are not exempt from this either. They started out as a hip hop group and early on borrowed elements of hip hop and black culture without fully understanding what was okay to adopt and what wasn't. The difference, however, is that they learn. Over time, they developed a genuine respect and understanding for hip hop and its roots, continuously educating themselves at every turn, and that growth is what led to their music becoming what it is today.
정의하기 굉장히 어려운 것 같아요. 사우스프랑스에서 파티로 시작해서 MC들이 중간에 춤을 추다가 브레이크를 넣고 거기다가 랩을 넣기 한두 마디씩 호응을 돋구는 그런 후렴을 넣으면서 힙 앤 합 이렇게 춤출 수 있게 굉장히 사실 작은 파티에서 시작된 문화고, 음악으로서의 힙합, 문화로서의 힙합, 정신으로서의 힙합 굉장히 사랑이라는 말처럼 굉장히 다양한 표정과 언어를 내포하고 있는 말이라고 생각합니다. 그래서 감히 저희가 힙합이 어떻다라고 정의할 수는 없을 것 같고요. 저희에게 힙합이라는 것은 그냥 저희가 너무 좋아하고 사랑하고 저희가 연습생 때부터 계속 듣고 서로 보컬 친구들도 그 음악을 들었었고요. 그 랩을 하기도 했었고 그러면서 그냥 저희가 사랑하고 아껴온 장르라고 저는 그렇게 얘기하고 싶습니다.
BTS's discography reveals a pattern. They rarely use another culture's aesthetics without context, research, reading literature, studying art, consulting experts, and sometimes working with artists from the culture in question. They then fuse their own artistry, experience, and culture into it, creating a new body of work that not only pays homage to other cultures, their traditions, and myths, but also stays true to themselves and their individual state of minds and experiences. And that line to walk is much easier said than done. In Blood, Sweat, and Tears, the video opens with the members wandering
You
through the
know
lavish museum.
what would be curious for me is to understand the time that it took for them to understand that, because before they say, okay, we weren't doing it like correctly, so how much time after it took for them to appreciate and show appreciation to follow through with that.
The visuals reference Peter Bruegel's The Fall of the Rebel Angels, Michelangelo's Pieta, and Da Vinci's The Last Supper, each depicting temptation, sin, and redemption. Towards the end, Jin kisses a winged statue, possibly symbolizing the fallen angel, and Jin cracks hard, showing he's cracked under temptation. Combined with the lyrics, the scene transforms a pop song into an allegory of desire and lost innocence, using religious imagery that's studied and symbolic, not just aesthetic. The music video also features Herbert James Draper's The Lament for Icarus, mirrored by Jungkook levitating with feathers, a nod to the myth's warning about ambition and downfall. During a press conference, Arm explained that Blood, Sweat, and Tears explores temptation and growth and emphasized that the Christian and mythological imagery represents inner conflict, citing Hermann Hesse's Damien as a major influence. Quotes from the book appear in the interlude, tying into themes of self-realization, so obviously a lot of research went into it. Another example of cultural appreciation is Idol. Idol is about self-identity and cultural pride. The music video features the members in Ankara suits, a fabric associated with West African fashion. The cultural critic site Just That Color notes that the choreography includes the South African Gwara Gwara and the Nigerian Shaku Shaku. There is also a dancer in a costume very similar to that seen in West African masquerades, such as the Senegalese kankurum. Idol still does not lose sight of BTS's own heritage, because in the same video the members also wear hanbok-inspired outfits and perform moves from the Bongsan Talchum, which is a Korean traditional dance. This fusion with a self-love anthem is a masterclass of celebrating multiculturalism. Their song Dionysus was named after the Greek god of wine and theater. In a new Dionysus Greek myth in the music of BTS, classicists know that at the 2019 Melon Music Awards, each member represented a Greek god, culminating in a ritual-like performance inspired by the ancient Dionysia. The lyrics of Dionysus layer Greek myth with Korean cultural motifs, and the chorus repeats drink, drink, drink as the members boast about creating art that intoxicates. In Chicken Noodle Soup, J-Hope collaborated with American-Mexican artist Becky G to remake the early 2000s hit. He explained that he grew up dancing to the original and wanted to honor its roots. This trilingual version features Korean, English, and Spanish, and earned praise from the original artist Bianca Bonney, and it celebrates hip-hop's Harlem roots and Latinx influences, rather than co-opting them. Some other examples include Suga's Dejita, which blends traditional Korean elements with hip-hop. Airplane Part 2, that was made in collaboration
But you
with
know,
English.
sometimes there's like toxic fans that will go ahead and say, "Oh, the new song is bigger than the original song," and that they never heard of the original
Oh,
song.
I'm a toxic fan.
Yeah,
'Cause I said that.
yeah, because it creates like, oh, the new song, oh, is a bigger viral. Listen,
It
for
is
it to be
bigger. I
for
think
it
it is
to be
bigger.
for it to even exist, the originator had
That
to
is true.
exist.
Yes, I don't debate
So
that.
it's like it creates inspiration to, do the song again, but we have to be careful not to take away from the original, you
I
know?
don't. I'm by saying that J-Hope's Chicken Noodle Soup is bigger than the original. I'm not taking away from the original. I'm just saying it's bigger than the original. It's like when we do these, videos, cover versus the original, right? And then we see the original, and then cover came out 2 months later, and cover is the bigger song. Well, cover is the bigger song, but we can't say the original, didn't exist because the cover wouldn't exist because the original. So same thing here, like.
I just think that is you have to be careful with that because it discounts the original, because it's like amazing for something that comes from the original can give fruits to something else that takes off again, because that doesn't happen.
All right, I think
That's
as
because, but there will be toxic fans. Oh, I don't like the original. Listen, if the original was not there, this other song
yeah,
that you
the
like now
original
will
is
not
fine.
exist.
I mean, it's just a cover though, right? So it's a cover. The credit is given. Like it would be a problem, I think, if they said like, "Oh, this is not a cover. He created the song." Like, no, that is a problem. That definitely not. But he didn't create the song. He just did a cover of it, which is cool. Nothing wrong with doing a cover. Plenty of covers have been done in history of music, you know. So I just like sometimes covers get bigger than the originals. Like it happens sometimes, and I think in this case, this is one of those cases.
Okay, so you're missing my point. I'm saying that you have to be careful when you say things like that, because it's like as if it's discounting.
Why? I'm not discounting. I'm saying it's a cover. So I'm clearly by saying it's a cover, I acknowledge that there is an original.
I just I think it's like to say, oh, it's bigger than the original.
Yes,
I
that's
don't
what I
think you
said.
realize how viral the thing is. I think what happens chicken and egg, because I feel like when you see the cover and you're exposed to the cover first, oftentimes people don't appreciate the original. An example of this
That's fair.
is when DJ Khaled and Rihanna came out with a song that sampled Maria Maria. I forgot the name of the song.
Maria, Maria.
When DJ
Listen
Khaled and Rihanna came
story.
out with this song, everyone was like, "Oh my God, this is groundbreaking. This is like so high." But then the people who knew and grew up with Santana Maria Maria, they're like, "No, no, 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 no. This is." They had to correct and say, "No, you have to go back in time to see when the original hit the scene and how crazy it was." And remember, we don't have the streaming
I
period back then.
understand,
It
but
was people who actually, if your music popped back then, it was hot. So I'm just thinking, okay, it looks, yeah, of course, it looks bigger because we have the streaming period, we have social media that makes everything more magnified than it is. But you have to realize, looking back in history, if a song was popular and it blew up, for someone like uh, J
J-Hope.
Hope to hear it in South Korea, the song must have been big. So that's why I say I understand where you're coming from, but careful with how you say, "Oh, but it's bigger." But you have to understand in its context. What does it mean when it's big?
I understand the context. The chicken noodle soup was
I ain't
popular.
trying to fight.
The original was popular locally here in the States.
No,
J-Hope
not
made it
locally,
global.
not
Yes, it
locally,
is
because
local.
for it
Rochelle,
to
that song
be,
was not
listen,
popular
listen,
internationally. It just
listen, listen,
wasn't.
listen, listen. How can it be locally for someone in South Korea to hear it? For him to say, "Oh, I'm gonna do a song like that."
He, one
So
person heard it.
he's an exception. That's the only one person.
No,
Case closed.
it's not
Moving
case
on.
closed. It's
I'm
just
done.
the simple fact our music has
No,
more populated that
no,
whatever.
no,
Right, let's
no.
just move
Case
on.
Many
closed.
other Latin pop hits. They've also explored the works of Swiss psychologist Carl Jung for their Map of the Soul series, and they are obviously known for their massive hip hop discography as well.
This is Mia. She wanted to take her brand nationwide. And with US Bank Business Essentials,
Research and education. BTS are nothing if not thorough. Members often cite reading books, visiting museums, and studying history for their projects, especially RM. Their use of Hesiod's Damien, Greek myths, and Jungian psychology indicates deep engagement with their source material. This is done so well that they have been commended by experts several times. You can see the amount of effort they put into their projects and therefore the amount of respect they have for it. Collaboration and credit. They ensure original creators are credited. They never pretend to invent these cultural aspects as if they were trends, and work with people from diverse backgrounds and with diverse experiences. Fusion rather than isolated use. BTS blend cultural elements rather than extract them for aesthetic use. Idol combines Afrobeat with Korean traditional instruments. Similarly, Dionysus merges Greek myth with Korean folk instruments. Deja fuses historic traditional Korean music with hip hop. These fusions create new art that honors all components. Narrative integration. Forward elements serve the story. For example, the paintings in Blood, Sweat, and Tears aren't just there for aesthetic purpose, but illustrate temptation and fall. The reference to Greek myth in Dionysus reflects the intoxicating power of performance and spectacle. Nothing is used solely for aesthetic appeal. Each reference deepens thematic understanding. Respect for sacredness. BTS avoid placing religious icons in disrespectful contexts. This again comes from their very thorough research where they make sure to address the cultures they are referencing with respect and care. Their classical references usually come from mythology and historical art rather than current practicing religions. When they do borrow from living cultures, they stay respectful, for example, using African dances as celebration, rather than parodying them for a joke. They do not pick and choose what to use for aesthetics and then turn around and mock the other aspects like many other idols have done. And finally, responsiveness and growth. BTS have acknowledged their mistakes and shown growth, while other K-pop groups don't even mention it, and let their fans either bury it or combat it with vile ignorance. This responsiveness fosters trust and shows that appreciation is an ongoing commitment. Through deliberate research, collaboration, narrative integration, and respect for sources, BTS transform borrowed elements into meaningful art. Cultural appreciation requires more than just aesthetic admiration. I think BTS should be an inspiration in this aspect since we all know
You
that a
know,
K-pop company is
also, I feel like what's unique in this situation with BTS is that they also have like a base that's willing to give them a chance to show this growth.
What do you mean a base? What base?
Army.
Oh,
Because I really do think it's where the artist is at in terms of showing how accountable they are, especially in the time period that you are in social media. Because social media is interesting in some in different time periods. They have like different focuses, like Me Too movement, racial issues, um and like topics like these, like, or conflicts with war. Like, we are focused like into different topics. So depending when these situations arrive in your career and your audience, I think it really depends if it's perfect place, perfect time, that you have the base to give you the support to give growth and learn. Because it could have been a scenario like Kiss of Life, where they're in a position where, oh, they get all this, hate piled on, that they don't have the opportunity to show the growth. Because for them, they got to show the growth and actually act and, have the capacity to film it, have it be seen by everyone to see that.
so are you saying Kiss of Life are being unfairly not given a chance?
What I think is, for Kiss of Life, they at wrong place, wrong time, because they thought they were bigger than what they were and think they could get away with things that maybe other artists who are later in their career can get away with or get a pass for. Because I seen different artists. For example, I had to sit and watch what was the girl, she got shot in the back. No one talked about
Oh,
it.
Yuki, yeah.
Yuki, and no one talked
I'm
about it.
so
It was
surprised nobody
a
talked about
complete
that.
pass. No conversation of the implications of those scenes in this music video whatsoever. But apparently, people are very woke when it comes to these topics when it's convenient for
That
them.
people definitely pick and choose what
Yes.
to talk about, yeah.
So I do feel like, Kiss of Life, they thought they were bigger than what they were because they had a song that was really hot. They're feeling themselves. They were doing this little event online, celebrate a birthday party where they're thinking they're hot, And so
They shit on
they
Sting.
realize, hold up, we're not as big as we thought we were, and that you know, uh, we're not untouchable from being criticized and having the criticisms just swamp and take us down. Because of course, naturally, every group already have their haters. So I don't think they were ready to, face, oh wow, I'm gonna be held accountable. I've seen others, like, they think like others do this. They've seen others do it because where they feel comfortable to do it in the first place, they feel like, oh, it's a normal, okay thing. So they found out and learned the hard way that, wow, we're really not gonna get a chance to come out from this. Like, what's it gonna take? And they said that, oh yeah, give us opportunities to show our growth. And they could be showing their growth, but a lot of people decide we don't want to see it. We already decide, the people have decided in the court of public opinion that it's a wrap for you, baby, and you got to go.
Oh, you should talk a lot. I wanted to say something, but I forgot.
So when it comes,
okay. I think also depends where your fan base is from. I think the thing with Kiss of Life, what they kind of didn't read the room is they
yeah,
had a lot of Western fans, like
yeah,
relatively, like percentage wise, they had way more than other groups. I think that's why, okay, it hit different because they had a lot of like American fans. Whereas Yuki, for example, for Idol, I think it's mostly Korean people. So Korean people don't care; they're not gonna make a big deal. So it's a pass versus not Kiss of Life. It's not a pass because their fan base is. If their fan base was mostly Korean, they would get a pass. Like nobody would care. So I think that's the thing. Same with like BTS. Why BTS wouldn't get a pass is because they have a lot of army here. So like they have to be careful. They have to do their research. That's what it is. Versus like Blackpink, they have fans here, but I still think most of their fans are Southeast Asian.
Yeah.
Because just the way their streams are distributed, they get mostly streams on YouTube versus Spotify. On Spotify, they're not as popular, so it just kind of shows that Americans are not really like that into them. So I think that's why Blackpink kind of, or maybe all those Americans that were into them lost, they lost those fans back then because this is not the first time that it comes around.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I think it
Yeah.
depends where the fans are located.
Yeah, because BTS has been able to do something so different, where it's to rally up their base, to align themselves, to give support to, the groups that the West would typically be, oh, that's really cool for you to do, to give donations to Black Lives Matter, to give donations to like health programs for young adults, young creatives. So they've been able to show that, and they're at the point where, for them to do something controversial, like maybe like the Jungkook wearing the wrong hat, I felt like, okay, that happened, and then people were able to move on from that. With Sugar, with his incident with the drinking, this was a very unique
People still haven't moved on from
yeah,
that
this
in
is a really
Korea.
unique situation because it's like socially unacceptable to drink and drive, and it seems like very strict on that, and that's something that they're holding him to. But I don't know how long it's gonna last,
I
per
think the
se.
thing with Jungkook's hat, it's he immediately like I think that really helped that he immediately like the same day he's like, oh, I fucked up. I think that's what really helped. There was no like dragging, he didn't like wait for a week. I think that's what helped. And also mostly Korean people are really affected. This is not like armies like huge internationally, so like no Koreans.
Yeah, see?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Koreans. I mean, for me, him wearing a Japan hat or whatever the fuck that was, make Tokyo great again. I think it was. I don't really, doesn't really affect me. He wears the hat. I don't really care. The same way somebody out in Asia don't really care if Kiss of Life appropriates other cultures. So it's like pick and choose which issues matter to you.
Yeah, that's what I
Trying to recreate the
noticed.
BTS formula anyway. Maybe they should try recreating this as well. I think fans from around the world would really appreciate their cultures and experiences being respected. That is all for this video. Please like and subscribe if you
Hey guys, of course, let us know your thoughts. Forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Discord, and as always, share as much kindness as possible.